What is up, guys? It's your boy Reactor, and today we have the complete guide for the brand new Spire of the Watcher dungeon just added into Destiny 2 within Season of the Seraph, showcasing every single mechanic for every single encounter, jumping puzzles, and more, so you have everything you need to know to complete this new dungeon. And guys, if I can teach you an entire dungeon, I can teach you a lot more stuff, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you find this video useful. Alright, now let's get started here with the first thing you're going to need to do, which is actually head to the tower and talk to Ray to pick up a quest that gives you access to this dungeon. So load it up, and after landing on Mars, the first thing you're going to encounter is kind of this Old West themed town, and a shootout is going to begin with a bunch of enemies spawning. You're also going to notice huge yellow wires crisscrossing this entire area. This is the key mechanic that's going to come up throughout this entire dungeon. So, how do you interact with it? Well, the first thing you're going to need to do is look for the Minotaur that spawned. They're specifically going to be called a Conduit Minotaur, and when you kill them, they're going to drop a substance, a glowing circle of arc energy on the ground. So what you want to do is stand in this circle, and as you can see, you get a brand new buff, Arctrition. Then that's going to last for 30 seconds. This buff lets you interact with these yellow wires by being able to shoot the nodes these wires connect to. So right near kind of where the Minotaur spawns, you're going to see this big object, this generator type thing, and there's 4 nodes with wires sticking out. You essentially need to go and complete these 4 different circuits. So as you can see, you can shoot these nodes and they kind of glow up, but then nothing else really happens. And even if you shoot another node, nothing really happens. What you need to do is complete this wire circuit in order. So go around the map and find where these wire circuits end. As you can see right here, we have a node and only 1 wire is coming out of it. This is where this circuit starts. So I'm going to shoot this, it's going to glow, and then I'm simply going to follow the wire. After that, I'm going to shoot the next node the wire leads to, and you'll know you've done it properly if that connection, that part of wire, starts glowing blue. Then you're going to go from the node you just shot, follow the wire going out of there, the yellow one, and go to the next node. You shoot it, it turns blue. And there's no timer on turning blue. Once you've completed that section of this wire network and it turns blue, you're good to go. So then again, go to the next section, turn it blue, and lead that now blue connection all the way back to the middle here. And when you shoot the final node, you'll have one of those 4 different connections done. So after you get all 4 of these wire nodes done, guys, the door is going to open and you can slide down and officially kind of enter this dungeon. Now, after that, guys, we have an absolutely massive jumping puzzle that is a little complicated. So you are going to have to make very long jumps. In fact, long enough that it almost looks like that's not the right way to go, but I'm going to be showing the route you go in the background gameplay. Probably the trickiest jump is this one right here. You go to this tiny little ledge that's just on the pillar here, and that's actually where you then jump forward and start scaling this object on the other side of the pillar. After that, you're going to make some obvious jumps, and then you're actually going to have to head down here, and another bit of a tricky jump here, you actually need to jump around this pillar. You're not going to be able to see where you end up until you actually commit to the jump, but as you can see, once you clear that pillar, it then becomes obvious where you need to go, and then simply head up this grav lift. From here, we have a rally flag and our first real encounter. So as you ascend upwards, you're going to see those yellow wires yet again. And you can see as you continue forward that there's going to be these kind of locked off grav lifts, and there's 2 different yellow wire connections, big nodes on either side. So you have to make these 2 connections, complete these 2 circuits to enable you to utilize this grav lift. So simply keep rotating around this area until you find the Minotaur. Then you're gonna have to kill him, grab that buff, and start connecting circuits. Now, there's not really a trick to this, you're just connecting node to node to node. However, you will have to get used to the fact that some of these nodes are in some pretty tricky locations. For example, these ones here, they almost look like they're going up to the second level, and initially we thought, oh, maybe we have to go up there to use them, but they're just kind of nestled right up above. You have to get some weird angles to shoot them, so just be aware of that. Additionally, within the background gameplay, I'm going to be doing my best to show you me just outright making these connections so you can kind of slow the footage down and know exactly where to go and what to shoot. Now, once you complete this grav lift, you're going to have to do the same thing again, just in a different location. So it's simply finding where these connections start, killing the Minotaur, and going from node to node to node again. However, in this second floor, there is going to be a new obstacle you have to watch out for. It's these beams of electricity that will kind of insta-kill you. Even seemingly when you dodge them, they're going to still kill you. So just be aware of those, and those are going to come up a few times during this dungeon. But as you continue forward and complete these circuits, you are eventually going to complete this encounter, get your first chest, and then we have our first boss fight. So you will have to ascend up this structure a little bit more, but once you get to the top platform here, you will see the boss, pretty much the Garden of Salvation boss, waiting and ready. Then you're going to see that on this structure, there are 4 different arms jutting out. And this is going to be where you need to focus your attention, because on each of these jutting out arms, or whatever they're called, you're going to see a kind of a glowing electric box jutting out of the surface. This is where the connection leads. So what you need to do is start the connection at the middle of the platform where the boss spawns. So find a Minotaur, kill him, get the buff, shoot here first, and then follow the circuit out to one of these arms until eventually when you complete the circuit, as you can see, it's actually going to cause that like metal box to go down, and in fact you're going to get a notification on your screen saying fuel rod activated. And you're going to continue to do that for the other 3 fuel rods as well. Now, once you do the last one, then the boss is actually going to become available to damage. You'll see the boss move over to that final fuel rod. And this is very important, guys. Wherever the 4th one you've done, that's where the boss is going to go. So make sure you don't just blindly do them. If you're doing the last one, make sure your entire team is there and ready to DPS before you hit the final circuit and cause the boss to go over there. Then the boss right near the fuel rod is going to open up, and what you need to do is shoot the different glowing objects, the different like eyes almost on this boss. Once you've shot all of them, then the boss will open up even more glow white and become available to DPS. So at this point, you can pop a well, start shooting, but you're also going to have the boss, just like Garden of Salvation, start to back away. So longer range stuff, again, rocket launchers, sniper rifles, linear fusion rifles is going to be the play here. And once the boss backs all the way to the center of this arena, they're going to become immune again, and you're simply going to need to do that whole process again. Deal with the 4 different fuel rods. On the 4th one, the boss comes there, shoot the glowing like eyes, shoot the boss, and do this as many times as you need to finally kill the boss. Alright guys, so moving on from there, you're going to get another reward chest, and then you're going to have to drop back down in this structure. And then in this next part, although it's technically just traversal to the next encounter, it feels like an encounter itself. There's a lot of ads that spawn, and there's a new kind of mechanic that's introduced, because you're going to now see different wire connections with nodes. However, they are red wires, and they're going to behave a little bit differently. So with these, there's actually no node to node to node connection. Rather, it's just the node going where it needs to go. So what you need to do is shoot all 5 of these red wires, and there's always going to be 5 in this encounter and the next few encounters in quick succession. So find the Minotaur, get that buff, go to a location where you can see multiple of them or spread your teammates out, and then again shoot them one after another very rapidly, and once all 5 are glowing, then the bottom of the floor is going to open up and let you go to the next area. You are going to have to watch out for these fans on your way to the next area, but once you get here, it's a similar situation. There's 5 different red wire nodes. You simply have to shoot all 5. They're obviously going to be in a little bit more tricky locations every single time, but once you accomplish that, you again get to move down to another floor, and it's the same thing happening. However, this one, we have something different because there's actually a secret chest right here in this room. As you can see, if you kind of go underneath this stairwell, there's a tiny open hole. Jump down here and there is a secret chest. But going back to the actual, part of this encounter, the 5th one, in case you're having trouble, there's like one on each of the different walls, and then there's a 5th one inside, as you can see right here. That caused us a little bit of trouble. But once you connect all 5, you're going to drop down yet again, and here we have our final boss fight actually. So, this encounter is going to be a combination of the 2 different circuit mechanics we've learned up to this point, because you're going to see yellow wires and red wires. So, what you need to do while the boss is chasing you around, by the way, completely immune and will just follow you around, so put on a void damage resist and definitely just try to move around the map and avoid this guy because he does schmack a little hard, but you're going to need to kill a Minotaur, get the buff, and then shoot the 5 different red wires first. The 4 are easy to find, and there's one more node right on top of this middle doorway. Once you shoot all of these 5 red wires, the door is going to open up and lead into the next part of the encounter. Although technically you can travel to this next part via the side doors before the main door is opened up, but I digress. Once that main door is opened up, then it's going to actually open up 2 previously closed nodes for the yellow wire circuits. So there's 4 different yellow wire circuits. Initially, all 4 are closed. And again, 2 random ones open up when that middle door is opened, and then you need to complete those 2 newly opened yellow circuits. So simply follow them all the way to the fuel rods that are located in the back of this arena. As you can see, when you activate the 2 different fuel rods, then you're actually going to get a notification on your screen, and that's going to say, Reactor surge imminent, seek safety. So things are going to be blinking, it looks like it's going to all explode, but if you go out away from this fuel rod area, the boss is going to stand near here and nothing is going to happen, and it's just going to go back to what it was. Well, what you actually have to do is that once you get this warning, you head back out and shoot the 5 different red wires once again in quick succession. This is going to close that main door that you previously opened, and then it's going to trap that reactor area off and actually kill anyone inside, so make sure you get out before there, but it's going to strip the immunity shield off of the boss, and then you can actually enter into a DPS phase, as you can see. Now the boss is going to just walk right at you, so potentially you could, plant a well right at his feet and do sword DPS. You could use rocket launchers, linears, whatever works for your team, but close range stuff would presumably just work with this boss as long as you have some protection, healing, again a well to make sure you don't get stomped to death. And there you have it. That is the mechanics to get to a damage phase. Once that ends, it's the same exact process. Opening that middle door by shooting the red wires, that's going to then let you complete 2 of the yellow wire circuits. The 2 fuel rods go down. You then get the boss in that back room. You get out of the reactor room and close that door and then enter into another damage phase. Do this as many times as you need to eventually kill the boss, and there you have it. he's going to drop a final chest, and you've now officially completed the Spire of the Watcher dungeon. Guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.